And so we take a short break, and now we return for game number 2 of today's doubleheader. And it's a pleasure to be back with you for game number 2. Griffin Leonard and Adam Hipsky will join us in just a couple of innings. The CornBelters dropped game 1 and look to bounce back. Zach Zakowski leads off game 2 and takes a pitch high. Zach once again starting at the shortstop position, and he will lead off the game. The 1-0 is upstairs once again. And for these CornBelters, it's going to be an interesting test to see how they respond here on the road after the loss. And the 2-0 is on the bottom part of the zone, right at the knees. It's called strike 1. And count 2-1 now. From the windup. And the pitch is flied right side, hooking toward the dugout, but it'll stay in play, and it is caught. And that's in foul territory. The first baseman, Reidelberg. Out on the mound for the Burlington Bees this evening is Asher Harris, listed as an infielder. And it's a guy that's got an opportunity to start here for the Burlington Bees. It's his first appearance, his first time playing on this Burlington Bees team this season. He deals the first time pitch outside, and it's ball 1. So it'll be Tyler Thompson, who had an excellent game, 3 for 4 in game 1. 3 of the 4 CornBelter hits. He grounds the ball to the shortstop. Across the diamond is Bryce Brown in time to get Thompson, and there are 2 away. So 2 quick outs retired by Asher Harris. It'll be Will Jusky, who moves from left field to right field in game number 2. I was talking with Will in between games. He was pretty happy, despite the loss, to see the ball leave the yard. He hit a home run in the 4th inning, and he takes the ball just off the plate, the curve ball, but got a hold of one, drove it out to left center field, and left the yard for his first home run in over a month. We were kind of joking about that fact, a little bit of a drought, but he said he's happy to be back on the books in that category. He said he's feeling a little bit better. His swing's feeling more connected. And he looks at the 2-0, and it's right down the middle. But for Jeske, getting the bump up to the 3 slot in today's second game after a really good night last night at Normal, and then a home run in the game 1. He lines the ball on the 2-1 to the shortstop, and Bryce Brown makes the catch to retire the side. So Normal go in order, and we'll head to the bottom of the first, where we will see the Burlington Bees offense take the plate for the first time in game 2. Bottom half of inning number 1 and a new face on the mound. It's certainly not the first time we've said that this season or this week. But fresh from the KCL, fresh from the Merchants, who placed runners-up in 2024, it is Dylan Nagel, who made 6 appearances, 3 starts, 16 innings for the Merchants. He now pitches, deals a first pitch strike. It's a foul ball off the bat of Jace Figueiredo, who tried to bunt himself aboard to begin the bottom half of the inning. But Dylan Nagel out on the mound for the first time in a CornBelter uniform. He wears number 24 after sporting the number 10 during the KCL season. The 0-1 is a slider that dives down low of the zone. Ball 1, it evens the count at 1 apiece. Top 3 in the Burlington Bees order: Jace Figueiredo, Jeremy Figueroa, and Dylan Cool, as the 1-1 misses high and outside. Figueiredo starting in center field in game number 2, batting left side. Watches the 2-1, swings and misses, and unable to catch up with it. And the count 2-2. Nagel from the right side delivers, and it's a swing and a miss. A fastball off the edge of the plate, but chasing it was Figueiredo. He chases the outside pitch, and there is 1 away in the bottom of the first. So a successful start of his CornBelters account, and Nagel's got his first out in the green and yellow. First pitch to Jeremy Figueroa, and he grounds the ball third base side. Chasing it is Mazzetti, but it goes foul. So 0-1 the count. And the pitch from Nagel, and it is in the dirt. Alex Mazzetti at third base. Around the infield for the Belters, the shortstop Zach Sykowski, and then on the right side, Tyler Castro and Mateo Casillas. 3 of the 4 return from game 1 as there's a ground ball to Zykowski at shortstop. He fields it going to the first base bag across the diamond, 6-3, and there are 2 away in the first inning. Zykowski talking to Zach earlier in the season, and this was back when Eddie Letamendi was on the roster. Zach said he prefers shortstop. At the time, he was getting a lot of work in at second and the occasional opportunity at the hot corner. But now Eddie Letamendi done for the year, going back and getting ready for his season at Illinois State, as there's a first pitch outside to Cool. And Zykowski has stepped into that shortstop role. He stepped into the leadoff role with Eric Thompson-Allen's departure. And he has fit in beautifully to this CornBelter offense and defense as the 1-0 fastball right on the outside corner for a called strike. Dylan Cool batting .227. His game, the first game of this doubleheader, was just the 8th game registered playing for this Burlington side as the 1-1 is right there at the knees for a called strike. 2, 1-2 the count. Nagel quickly back to work. His wind-up, pretty much just the stretch, and here it is, the 1-2, just off the outside of the plate. Maybe a tiny bit high as well. The count 2-2 as Cool resets himself. The pitch from the righty, and this time it's not close. It dives down low, and the count is full. If the inning is to continue, Bryce Brown for the Burlington Bees will hit next. He sits in a crouch in the on-deck circle right now, trying to stretch his body out in case he takes to the plate. 3 balls, 2 strikes from Nagel, and the ball is fouled off to the screen. And we will continue the inning for the moment. Lots of zeros up on that scoreboard. A lot of zeros in game 1. Game remains scoreless until inning number 4 before both teams added a run. As here's another 3-2. It just misses. Oh, it looked good. Nagel couldn't find the zone. And a well-worked walk for Dylan Cool, and the Bees have the first base runner of the game. Bryce Brown will hit next, batting in the cleanup spot. Two outs, a man on first, and the first pitch upstairs, nearly clanging off the helmet of Bryce Brown, but he ducks out of the way. Want to know the count. Want to know. The pitch swung on and missed. A fastball on the top part of the plate. And the count 1-1. Cool hanging off of first base, and the pitch from Nagel on the inside corner. Fastball, and Brown didn't have time to pull the trigger. 1-2. A strike away from getting out of the miniature jam. The 1-2 pitch is way high, all the way to the backstop, over the glove of Charlie Graham behind the plate. And moving up to second on the play is Cool. So 2-2 remains the counter. Runner in scoring position for Burlington here in the first. Nagel delivers the 2-2, and it's pop foul. Fighting here is the cleanoff bat for the Bees. And making Dylan Nagel work here in inning number 1. Already up past 20 pitches now in the first. A game where the CornBelters won't want to use a whole lot of pitching. 2-2. And a strikeout. The slider getting away from the hitter. He'll back out of the zone and concede the out. And a strikeout registered by Dylan Nagel, his second of the 3 outs recorded in the first. We'll head to inning number 2 right after this on the home of the Belters. So we head to the second inning here in Burlington. It will be Chase Mason. Once again, the designated hitter for this CornBelter team. He takes the first pitch strike on the inner half to begin the second inning. Asher Harris, in his first appearance for the Bees, was flawless. But now a single to right center field, and it could be more than a single. It gets down in the gap. Chase Mason will rocket around first. It's going to be close at second. But Chase Mason is in there for a stand-up double. Ahead of the throw into the shortstop as the right fielder, Donlin, got it in somewhat quickly, but Charlie Donlin didn't have the juice on the throw to challenge Chase Mason, who's got himself a double. And for Chase, it's double number 2 of the season. So the CornBelters register the first hit of this contest and an early scoring opportunity. See if Tyler Castro, can do something with it. He chops the ball slowly left side. It's fielded by the shortstop, who double clutches and goes to first, and they have themselves an out, but Chase Mason moves up to third base. So Brown goes across the diamond to Reitelber for the first out of the inning, but now the CornBelters 90 feet away from the opening run. An important check-in on the Rex taking on Champion City. That game 4-2. Champion City working back into it a little bit, but stranding 2 in the top half of the 8th. As we turn back here is Alex Mazzetti with a first pitch swing and a miss to a high fastball. 0-1. It'll be Charlie Graham after Mazzetti in this order. It's the 0-1, misses low. So 1-1, the corners are in, the middle infield is not, given it is only the second inning. And the 1-1 pitch is high of the zone. Two and one pitch. Upcoming, Asher Harris running into some trouble here. Burlington defense set to receive the 2-1, and it is on the outside corner. Mazzetti not bringing the bat off his shoulder quite yet in this at-bat. Now down to his final strike here, 2-2. And here we go from the right-hander. And the pitch is popped up. Very shallow center field. Chase Mason will stand on third. They will make the catch, and Mason will not tag. It was a dart of a throw that would have had him by a mile if he had. So 2 down. And the CornBelters scoring chances just vastly decreased with that pop out. But Charlie Graham still can do something about that here. He bats with 2 down and a man on third base. Infield now back. And the first pitch to Graham is a swing and a miss. Blew it right by him. Dunn makes the catch and throws right back to his pitcher, and the count 0-1. 0-0 here in the second. First run of the game, or at least the prospective first run of the game, standing 90 feet away. There's a swing and a miss on strike 2. 0-2 the count to Charlie Graham. Catching the second game after sitting on the bench in game 1. And down in a hole in his first at-bat. The 0-2 pitch is down low, skipping in the dirt, but blocked cleanly by Dunn. Christian Dunn did not play the first game. The Bees catcher will hit in the 7th spot and will bat next inning. 1-2 pitch, and it tails away, gloved and stopped. 2-2, and keeps the runner at third. And we'll see another pitch upcoming. Charlie Graham digs back in, brings the bat around his right shoulder. Long hold from Asher Harris, and now he comes home. And the pitch is low. Graham picked up his right foot to get it out of the way of that slider. The count is full. So here is Charlie Graham facing the payoff pitch from Asher Harris. And it is lined into right center field. That one is dicey toward the gap. A long way to go, and the center fielder will not get there. An RBI single off the bat of Charlie Graham as Jace Figueroa laid out but couldn't make the catch. And the Belters lead here in Burlington 1-0 in inning number 2. So 1-0 the score, and some positive vibes perhaps in normal. Mateo Casillas turns on the first pitch, hits it to shallow center field, and it will fall in front of Jace Figueroa. And back-to-back base hits for this CornBelter offense. They've knocked 3 hits in the second inning now. And they're knocking on the door with Griffin Brown coming up to the plate. Now, Griff started in the first game. He's been hitting pretty well, but getting demoted to the 9 hole, but maybe just a second leadoff, so to speak, for the Belters. Played last night in normal against the Bees when they were in town, and it was his second 3-hit game of the season. He went 3 for 6, scoring 3 times. First pitch, inside. In fact, Griffin Brown has maybe not had the best of batting averages, but when he's gotten on base, his teammates have found ways to drive him in. He scored in 7 straight games coming into today's doubleheader. Of course, that streak ending in Game 1 with the CornBelters' lone run coming with the Will Jeske solo home run. 1-0 the pitch. They had a quick mound visit between Harris and his catcher Dunn, and now they get set to deal the 1-0. And it is high and tight. 2 balls and no strikes. Brown digs back in. Zach Zykowski, who led off this game, he stands on deck. And if the inning continues, Zach will bat for the second time. 2 balls and no strikes. The pitch from the right-hander is outside and quickly 3-0. And a risk for the bases to be juiced here in inning number 2. 3-0. Harris steals, and it's right down the heart of the plate. Taking all the way was Griffin Brown, and the count 3-1. Leading off at second base is Charlie Graham. Mateo Casillas on first. And here's the 3-1. It is a swing and a miss from Griffin Brown. He went after the fastball, could not catch up, and the count is full. Asher Harris to 30 pitches now. He threw just 10 in the first, but up to 20 here in inning number 2. The 3-2 pitch. The runner's on the move, and a ground ball to the third base side. It's fielded by the shortstop. They'll go across the diamond, and they have Griffin Brown by a step. But the CornBelters strike first here in Burlington. We'll head to the bottom of the second, where the Bees will look to respond. So the Belters strike first in the top half of the second, and now we turn the page to the bottom half where Burlington look to even the score. It'll be Dylan Nagel out there for inning number 2. He faces Michael Carano Jr. Delivers the first pitch ball off the outside of the plate. The sun's starting to go down here in Burlington, Iowa. The 1-0 fouled off to the screen. It's a pretty dark ballpark. We're used to the bright lights and normal. Maybe there's just a bit of tint on these windows here in the press box, but it certainly doesn't feel like the lights surrounding the ballpark are doing very much. But the 1-1 pitch, low, and the count 2-1. I would have to imagine that darker it gets, the more profound they will be, because you can't play in the dark. 2-1 the count to the leadoff man, and Nagel comes home and hits the outside corner with the fastball, evening the count at 2 to Carano. Carano batting in the 5 spot after being at the bottom of the order in the first game, the doubleheader. He lines the 2-2 to left field, and maybe that's why. A leadoff single in the bottom of the second for Michael Carano Jr. He caught the first game, now getting the start as the designated hitter, despite hitting just 200 coming into today's doubleheader. But he gets the job done for the Bees and gets himself on base. So it'll be Cooper Donlin, who's playing the outfield for Burlington. He watches a first pitch fastball down the heart of the plate for a called strike. That single by Carano was the first hit of the game for Burlington here in the second inning. 0-1 pitch, and on the outside half of the plate for another called strike. 0-2 the count. Neither team registered a hit in inning number 1. The CornBelters notched 3, scoring a run in the process. Burlington off to a good start here. 0-2 the count from Nagel, and the pitch is popped up. Shallow center field. Zykowski with a long way to run. He will not get there, and it will fall in between him and the center fielder. And it's Griffin Brown able to retrieve the ball and flip it in, but not before both runners move up, and it's back-to-back base hits. That one not hit very hard, but it falls in a good spot, and Burlington threatening to answer to the Normal run, just as they did in the 4th inning. Normal scored the first run of this doubleheader, leading the game 1-0 against Burlington in the top half of the 4th, but Burlington put up a run of their own in the bottom half. There's a swinging strike to Christian Dunn, catching this game for the Bees. The game's tied at 1, and it stayed that way until the bottom of the 6th, when the Burlington Bees put up 5 runs, solidifying their win in the afternoon matchup. The 0-1 is lined foul out of play to the first base side, and the count 0-2. So Dylan Nagel running into a little bit of trouble here. But after conceding a hit on the 0-2 to the last batter, he's got an opportunity to right his wrongs here. The 0-2 pitch, and it is hit hard down the left field line, but foul. Hooked toward the bullpen and out of play by just a couple of feet. But Dunn was certainly all over that off-speed pitch. Nagel checking on second. Now he diverts his attention back to home plate for the 0-2. And it's hit hard to left side under the glove of Alex Mazzetti and into left field. They will send the runner. Throw comes home. Cut off. Throw to the plate. Skipped in the dirt on the way to Charlie Graham, and he's safe. And Mazzetti will want that one back. 1-1 the score. The throw was cut off. Mazzetti didn't have a whole lot of time to make the throw, but from 90 feet, you have to get that throw there on a line. He threw a short hop to Charlie Graham, who couldn't scoop it with the catcher's glove, and the game is tied at 1. It'll go down as a base hit, and a first pitch strike now to Reitelberger. But it's certainly a frustrating one for the CornBelters, and especially Alex Mazzetti, sort of a double mistake. It'll go down as a hit, but Mazzetti will feel like he could have made the play and keep it in the infield before the errant throw just a few seconds later. Swing and a miss on the 0-1, and once again an 0-2 count on a Burlington B hitter. They've singled off of 0-2 the last 2 at-bats. And now another 0-2 with runners on second and first here. Nagel deals to Reitelberger. And the ball is golfed to the right side. Caught by the first baseman. Mateo Casillas makes the catch and steps on first base as Christian Dunn was off the bag. And they turn 2. So a nice turn of events for Normal. Now get them 2/3 the way out of this inning. And just a runner on second with 2 down for the man at the very bottom of the order for Burlington, and that, of course, is Jaden Cummings. Cummings today, the second baseman. He watches the first pitch on the inside corner of the plate. He had moved and gotten his body out of the way of that one as he felt it was on the inner half of the plate. Though it should be noted that Cummings does crowd the plate a little bit in that right-handed batter's box. The 0-1 pitch. And the pitch dives down low. 1-1. So still out on second base is Cooper Donlin. He's very softly held on at second base by Tyler Castro. And the 1-1 pitch upcoming from Nagel. Inside, and that one will not be called a strike. 2-1. Tyler Castro at second base moved over from third as Alex Mazzetti gets a start in game 2. Tyler Thompson was at second base in the last contest. He moves to left. And now the 2-1, high and tight, 3 balls and 1 strike to the 9-hole hitter Jaden Cummings. So a tough spot for the pitcher to be in here. 3-1 count. And Nagel delivers, and it is swung on and missed. The count is full. Continuing the defensive changes from game 1 to game 2, it was Will Jeske moving from left field to right, and Austin Weekend, who was in right field in game 1, he now is on the bench. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The payoff pitch coming from Nagel. And he puts it on the outside corner. Ring him up, strike 3. That ends the inning. Burlington get the 1 back. We head to the third, all square at 1 apiece here on the radio home for the Normal CornBelters. It's Normal and Burlington 1-1 going into the third.
Welcome back here at Community Field. Bees and CornBelters all square at 1 apiece. Zach Zykowski is set to lead things off for the Belters offense for the second time tonight. He's batting leadoff, and he kicked things off in the top of the first. He's back to lead things off in the top of the third. Asher Harris, who drew the start for Owen Oreskovich in Burlington, is back out on the hill for his third inning of work. Out of the windup, here's the pitch to the righty, Zykowski. Breaking ball that misses inside below the knees. 4-1. Zykowski was 0 for 4 in game 1. The 1-0. Fly ball right side. Foul territory. The first baseman, Reidelberger, is dancing with the screen, and it hits it for strike 1. Zykowski with a 22-game on-base streak. He extended that with a walk in his final trip to the dish in game 1. That was a B's 6-1 victory. Belters looking for the split. Here's the offering. Skied right side. Similar spot. It's into the screen. 4 strike 2. Belters got their first run after Chase Mason doubled and Charlie Graham brought him in with an RBI single. There's the 1-2. This is outside. It was a tough pitch to lay off of for Zykowski. It was a slider that dived away from him, started in at the hands, and continued to hook into the left-handed batter's box. 2-2, nobody out, nobody on. The delivery is lifted into deep right field, heading towards the CornBelters bullpen out of play. Count remains leveled at 2 apiece. Zykowski popped out to the first baseman in the first. Harris on the mound, shakes a couple of times, rocks into his motion. 2-2, misses down and away. Count runs full here to Zykowski. Zykowski's drew 26 walks, top 25 in the Prospect League, and free passes awarded. Here's the full count. High fly ball, right side, curling out of play. Zykowski spoiled a couple of 2-strike pitches. He'll dig back in. Reaching base at a 46% rate, top 5 mark in the Prospect League. Here's the 3-2. Downstairs, so a walk drawn for Zach Zykowski. And the leadoff man is aboard in the top of the third. 1-1. Belters and the Bees. Nobody out. That brings up Tyler Thompson, who had 3 singles. Went 3 for 4 in game 1. He taps the far side of the plate, then the near side. Cycles it in front of his chest a couple of times. Now cocks it over his right shoulder. Here's the first offering to him. A fastball misses at the ankles, ball 1. Thompson, who's swung an extremely hot bat lately. He's recorded hits in 6 of his last 7. Hitting over 400 the past week. Here's the 1-0. Called strike. Dots the inner half. Counts 1-1. Thompson hitting second, typically a bottom of the order guy. Has turned it. It's a quick pick over to first. And Zykowski's back with a head first dive. Thompson, who's usually hitting 7th, 8th, somewhere in the bottom 3, has now been moved consistently in the past week to a top 3 guy. Here's the 1-1. Grounded left side, a chance to turn 2. Brown on the glove, tried to snag it on the forehand, and it bounced off his waist and onto the ground. Everyone is safe. Zykowski's over to second. Thompson reaches on an error by the shortstop Brown. Still nobody out. And Will Jeske, who homered, was responsible for the Belters' lone run with a solo shot in game 1, now steps in the right side. 2 on, nobody out. Burlington and Normal tied at 1. Harris steps off the mound and calls for some assistance behind the backstop in Dunn. So the catcher will trot out there. A quick conference. Harris covers his mouth with his right hand, so Jeske can't pick up on anything the two may be discussing. Lights are on. A dark evening here in Burlington. Might be tough to see the signals back there from 60 feet away. Out of the stretch, the first pitch from Harris. Fastball misses outside. Count is 1-0 to Jeske. Lined out to the shortstop his first time up. He came into today hitting 2 for his last 22. But starting to feel better. Here's the 1-0. Breaking ball, dives below the zone, and the count's 2-0. But starting to feel better, swinging a much hotter bat. Certainly seeing one leave the yard in game 1 will help in that mindset. 2 balls, no strikes, nobody out. Pitch just misses outside. Dunn thought it was strike 1, but instead the fastball moves the count to 3-0. Jeske rocking the bat over his right shoulder. Out of the stretch, Asher deals. Called strike. That one finds the bottom rail, and the count's 3-1 to Jeske. The freshman from Nebraska hitting .324 this summer for the Belters. Back to the top of the order after a short appearance, hitting bottom 3. The 3-1. Popped up out of play, right side. Bounces off the roof of a structure down the right field line. And the count's now full. So back-to-back strikes from Harris. Nobody out. 2 on. Zykowski on second. Thompson on first. Here's the offering. Lined right side. Continuing to hook foul. It's into the seats. Count remains 3 balls, 2 strikes. Middle infield a few steps back. They're in double play depth, looking to turn 2. Thompson, who swiped a bag in game 1, is on first. Harris comes set at the belt. The payoff from the right-hander is lifted into deep left center field. Figueroa's under it, making the catch, heading towards the track, and he snags it. Zykowski had to retreat to second. Now he tags for third. He's in there safely. Zykowski thought that one was down for extra bases. He was 3 steps off the base, and a fantastic catch by Figueroa hitting the wall. His momentum carried him all the way from medium depth in center field to the track and into the wall. He bounced off it and fired a rocket into the infield. Zykowski safe. Thompson stays put at first. There's one away, runners on the corners, and that brings up Chase Mason, who doubled and scored his last time up. Still tied at 1. He's looking for the sweep here under the Saturday night lights. The first pitch. Fastball rides in at the letters, and the count's 1-0. Mason, who just picked up his first hit since July 13th, was dealing a right hand issue. Here's the 1-0. Called strike. Dots the outer half, and the count's 1-1. A ball and a strike on Mason. One away, runners on the corner. Zykowski on third, Thompson being held on at first. Middle infield still a few steps back in double play depth. The 1-1 grounded left side to the hot corner. Figueroa. He turns to second for 1. Over to first, and it pulls Reidelberger off the bag. So Mason beats it out. Zykowski comes in to score, and that is a huge errant throw by Cummings, because had they gotten the lead runner at first, Zykowski crossing the plate wouldn't have mattered. There's 2 outs, and the Belters take a 2-1 lead. Now Tyler Castro, the lefty swinging third baseman, steps in. Quick lead off the bag at first for Mason. The first pitch lined into center field, dropping for a base hit. Mason rounding second, heading for third. He's in without a throw. And Tyler Castro, who was 0 for 1 with a couple of walks in the first game of this doubleheader, has now singled for the first time tonight at Burlington. Runners on first and third, 2 away, and Alex Mazzetti steps in. Game 3 of the 3-game set. Belters took game 1 16-6 in 8 innings yesterday. Bees took game 1 of today's doubleheader. First pitch to the righty, Mazzetti. Called strike, paints the outside corner. Fastball at the knees, and the count's 0-1. Mason on third. Castro on first. The 0-1 pitch is laced into deep left field. Cool is back on it, and he makes the grab over his shoulder. So a couple of spectacular plays being made by the Bees outfielders. Strands a pair for the normal offense. So a couple of hits and 1 run gives the Belters a 2-1 lead. Heading into the bottom half of the third, you're listening to normal CornBelters baseball on the home of the Belters. Bottom of the third here in game 2 of our Saturday night doubleheader. Adam Hipsky and Griffin Leonard at Community Field in Burlington, Iowa. The Bees put on 1 in the bottom of the second, but Normal has tallied 2 so far through 2.5. Dylan Nagel, who got the start, is back out on the mound. He's ready to deal to the 1-2-3 hitters, Jace Figueroa, Jeremy Figueroa, and Dylan Cool for Burlington. So the center fielder Figueroa taps the plate a couple of times, composes himself in the left-handed batter's box. The righty Nagel deals the first pitch. Called strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Nobody on, nobody out. Nagel from the belt, out of the windup. Line left side into the screen and foul. No balls, 2 strikes on Figueroa. Jeremy Figueroa is on deck. A mouthful here for the boys in the booth. The 0-2 pitch. Hit in the air left side. Pushed it foul. So it'll be no balls and 2 strikes on Figueroa, who's hitting .224 this summer. Has not played in either of the 2 games set so far between the Bees and the Belters. Here's the 0-2. Fastball misses up and away for ball 1. One and 2. Nobody on, nobody out. 2-1 Belters lead. The delivery is a fly ball left field and fouled once again. Figueroa doing a nice job staying alive here. Wonder if Owen Oreskovich had us in the back of his mind when he stacked these 2 guys back to back. That is not easy. Also, 2 J's, the 1-2. Line left side and foul. Figueroa is doing a nice job just staying back on these pitches. Not pulling anything, but he sees that they're borderline strike 3s, and he's putting a swing on them and making nice contact. Nagel steps off, then steps back on. He's making his CornBelters debut, a Colonel's Collegiate League call-up. We've seen both games here in this twin bill. Get the starts for KCL guys. Here's the 1-2, fouled back once again. Dylan Nagel, this will be his 44th pitch. Using the entire arsenal right here on the center fielder, who struck out swinging in the first. Nagel steps off once again. I think he's having a tough time seeing the signs back there from Charlie Graham. Check that. We're going to change the count. It's 2-2. So scoreboard operator a bit off. Suppose we were as well. 2-2, nobody on, nobody out. Nagel kicks and deals. Just misses outside. It was a stretch of a frame job from Graham, but still doing its job back there, and the count runs full. Should not be a guy you want on the base paths. He's swiped 8 bases this season. Here's the 3-2. Swing and a miss. Got him with the fastball downstairs. He chased it out of the zone, and after the center fielder saw 10 pitches, finally goes down swinging. So he's 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. Here's his teammate, Jeremy Figueroa. He's 0 for 1 with a ground out to the shortstop. 2 for 3 with a couple of doubles in game 1 here tonight. The offering. Check swing. Did he go around, appeal down to the base umpire? Yes, he did. Assisting Dana Wilson behind the plate is Kevin Ferris on the bases. The 2 were flipped in game 1, but Dana Wilson back behind the dish calling balls and strikes here in game 2. The 0-1. Grounded left side on a couple of bounces and foul. To the left of the white chalk line, grounded on the bare hand by Bees manager Owen Oreskovich, and the count is 0-2. So Figueroa, the one in the right-handed batter's box right now, played for his manager here for the Bees at Mount Mercy. The 0-2 pitch. Fastball misses outside. Good spot there from Nagel. The count's 1-2. Oreskovich was the Mount Mercy hitting coach. It's an NAIA university in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. The 1-2 with one away. He loaded up. It looked at ball 2. Figueroa thought it was one that was going to go after, but reluctantly takes, and the count is now even at 2-2. Belters leading it by 1. It's 2-1 in the bottom of the third. Nagel kicks and fires. Grounded left side on a bounce. Zykowski gloves it. Transfers, throws on to first. It's in time. So back-to-back putouts for the Bees. Brings up the number 3 hitter, Dylan Kuhl. It was 1 for 1 in game 1. He doubled and scored in the 6th, walked and scored in the 4th, and just walked in the 2nd. So a productive day. He batted 5th in game 1, being moved up into the 3rd slot in game 2. 2 away, the base is clear. Pitch. This is outside. A fastball moves the count to 1-0. Kuhl walked his first time up. Belters took game 1 of the series yesterday, 16-6. Bees responded in game 1 today of the doubleheader and game 2 of the series. It's the 1-0. Fastball dots the outer corner. Count is 1-1 now. Nagel set at the belt. High kick. Fires. This is outside. 2 balls, 1 strike now. Graham stands straight up, giving the squad a break. He's back into his crouch, set up for the 2-1. Pitch. Another fastball misses outside. Nagel is hitting his spots, but these Bees hitters staying disciplined in the box. 3-1, the base is clear. Belters leading 2-1. Pitch misses outside. Another walk for Dylan Kuhl. He's drawn his 4th walk today through 5 trips to the plate. Impressive day for the left fielder. And that brings up the cleanup man, Bryce Brown, who struck out swinging his first time up. But I know the Belters don't have fond memories of the shortstop. Back when Burlington visited the Corn Crib on July 14th, he sent a 3-run shot out of the yard. First pitch out of the stretch from Nagel. Fastball that rides way in on Brown. He had to duck out of the way, and the count is 1-0. Brown, another Mount Mercy kid. Played for his Bees manager, Owen Oreskovich. Set at the belt, Nagel deals. Check swing, and he fouls it straight back into the screen. Powerful check swing. Count is now a ball and a strike on Brown, who was 1 for 3 earlier today and 1 for 4 with an RBI yesterday. 1-1 from Nagel. Swing and a miss. Graham fakes the back pick down to first, but Kuhl is back safely. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 1 runner on. It's Kuhl on first. He walked. Belters leading it 2-1 in the bottom of the 3rd. Runner goes, the pitch, and it hits Brown on the right shoulder. So, standing in the right-handed batter's box, moved his body all the way in a 180 degree and gets hit with the right shoulder. So there's 2 on and now 2 outs. And that brings up Michael Carano Jr., who singled and scored in the 2nd. Led things off in the bottom of the 2nd. Came all the way to score after an RBI single from Christian Dunn. Right on left the matchup. Dunn. First pitch, fastball. Skied to shallow left field. Zykowski's in the outfield grass. He loses it. It's all the way in left field for Thompson, and he makes a last-second grab parallel to his knees. So a little bit of confusion here with the ball getting lost in the night lights. The score's still 2-1. So no runs, no hits, no errors in the field, and nobody left on, 2 left on rather, for the Burlington Bees. We head to the top of the 4th. Belters to swing it with their 7, 8, 9 hitters on the other side, right here on the home of the Belters.
Griffin Leonard back with you here for the next 2 innings here from Burlington, Iowa. The sun has set, and a nice southeastern Iowa evening is upon us. The CornBelters cling to a 2-1 lead here in the fourth. And Charlie Graham, who is instrumental in helping the CornBelters gain that lead, will bat once again. Graham singled his first time and notched himself a run batted in the process. So Charlie will lead it off. He bats in the 7th spot. The 8-9 hitters of Mateo Casillas and Griffin Brown will follow. First pitch swinging Charlie Graham. He pops it up right side. It'll stay in play. It's the first baseman trotting over and making the play. That's Reidelberger who makes the catch, and there's one out. So 1 pitch, 1 out for the Bees defensively, and it is still Asher Harris out there, despite a couple of runs given up. Of course, just one of them earned. Out there for his 4th inning of work. Both of these teams wanting to get the maximum out of their starters. Doubleheaders late in the season as there's a first pitch ball to Mateo Casillas. Doubleheaders late in the season, you don't have a whole lot of arms to begin with. The more pitches you can get out of your starting pitching, the better, as the 1-0 misses inside. 2 balls and no strikes to Casillas, who's batting with the bases empty and 1 away. 2-0 misses, and it's 3 balls and no strikes. So an opportunity for the CornBelters to get a man on. Griffin Brown, the Michigan State future Spartan, awaits in the on-deck circle. 3-0 misses low. 4-pitch walk. Mateo Casillas has reached for the 2nd time in as many plate appearances in the 2nd game of today's doubleheader. So it'll be Griffin Brown, who has been a doubles machine as of late. 5 doubles since July the 19th, 8 days ago. And he's got a man on first now with 1 away. He takes a first pitch strike on the outside corner, and that opens up the at-bat in the pitcher's favor. Asher Harris set again to deal the 0-1. And it is sat on and popped skywards, way up in the air, second base side. It is the second baseman moving back over. He initially went into shallow right, back into the infield to make the catch. And Cummings retires the 2nd out. Flip back around to the top of the order for Zach Sykowski. It's the 3rd plate appearance, but the 2nd at bat potentially here for Zach, who walked his 2nd time up, and he destroys the ball to deep left field. Looking up and looking and watching that one go is the left fielder. Nothing cool can do about that one. Zach Sykowski leaves the ballpark. And just a short time after he was nearly leaving the yard earlier, he gets the job done this time. Zach Sykowski with his first hit of the doubleheader, and it's a big one. A 2-run shot for the CornBelters, who lead 4-1 in inning number 4. For Zach, it's his 3rd home run of the season. Coming into today, he had 6 extra base hits in his last 6 games. Make that 7. And Zach Sykowski makes way for Tyler Thompson, who has a 1-0 count. And the count now even after a fastball snags in on the outside corner. And here at Community Field, as the 1-1 is hit up the middle off the glove of the pitcher, knocking it back over to the shortstop. Backhand stop, not in time. They nearly made a play out of nothing, the Bees defense, as Harris knocked the ball, I'm sure accidentally, into the path of Bryce Brown, who was unable to make the play. It's an infield single. But as I was saying, the left field fence here is separated into 2 portions. Both filled with sponsorship boards. Now the top portion is separated, and a few feet farther back from the first portion, it just appears from up here to be the same constructed element, as the first pitch is in there for a strike to Will Chusky. So if the ball hits off the second set of sponsorship boards, it's a home run. Well, Zach Zajkowski hit it over both. An absolute no-doubter from the shortstop. 0-1 pitch to Will Chusky off of the inside half, and the count even at 1. So Chusky, the right fielder, 0 for 2 today, and he looks at the 1-1 pitch and hits a fly ball left field. That will send Cool back, but this time he will have room, and he makes the catch. 2 runs in the 4th inning for the normal CornBelters as Zach Zajkowski goes big fly for the Belters. Bottom of the 4th inning as the Bees come back up to the dish. If you're just joining us, you missed an absolute tower of a home run from Zach Zajkowski. He and the rest of the CornBelter defense at their positions as Nagel sees the first pitch get hit right back at him past the glove of Zajkowski and into center field. Cooper Donlin, who's leading off for the Bees, has his second hit in 2 at-bats. So the Bees trying to answer once again. They've done so in 2 of the 3 innings that the CornBelters have scored. The Belters nabbed one in the 3rd, and the Bees did not respond, but the previous 2 times the Belters had scored, Burlington was there to score right back and even up the game. We'll see if they can generate something here. Runner on first, nobody out, and the first pitch to, I believe that's Christian Dunn in the box now. Yes, 1 for 1 with an RBI. He fouls it back. Christian has had a good day. Now runner on first base in Cooper Donlin. Dylan Nagel just threw pitch 69. Here's pitch 70. And it sneaks away from the hitter, ball 1. Nagel's had a good day for the Belters out on the mound. 3 innings pitched, just an earned run, 4 strikeouts, and a couple of walks. Trying to contain this Burlington offense. 1-1 count, and slide step delivery is well outside. They throw down to first, Graham down to Casillas, but it's not in time. 2-1 count. The big game going on the other side of the Prospect League has gone final. Terre Haute have defeated Champion City, so as it stands, the CornBelters 1 game back of their division rivals. It's the 2-1 misses inside. So if the CornBelters can win this game, then they would be just a half game back with 3 to play in the season. Both teams with 3 games to play after today. They will check on Donlin at first base. Of course, with rainouts and with cancellations and all the fun things that go with summer baseball, as the 3-1s popped up right side. Tracking it are both the pitcher Nagel and the first baseman Casillas. Casillas calls him off, and makes the catch. So there's one down here in the fourth. But I find it interesting that Terre Haute and Normal, with the race for the playoffs as close as it will end up, have played a different amount of games. So the CornBelters and the Terre Haute Rex will not tie. They will finish unless one game gets rained out here in the next few days, as the pitch is flared foul to the left side. One of these teams will finish a half game ahead of each other or more, depending on how the end of the season goes. 0-1 with one out and a man on first. And a big swing and a miss. Reidelberger behind 0-2 now. After Dunn popped out, it's Logan Reidelberger in the box. The lefty is hitting 0-1, 0 for 1 today. And on the season, quite abysmal to be in fact, hitting under 100. And the pitch, way upstairs, off the glove of Charlie Graham into the backstop. It'll allow the runner Donlin to move up to scoring position. Not anywhere near the spot you want to see from Dylan Nagel on the 0-2. So Donlin to second base and a 1-2 count upcoming to Reidelberger. Nagel checks on second, comes home to the first baseman, and the pitch is low. The count 2-2. Nagel trying to find some composure on the mound after missing in two not very close spots on the previous two pitches. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sadkowski creeping in on the runner. Now they go home. And he swings and misses. He kind of golfed at that one. It looked like Reidelberger might have fouled it off, but the umpire says no. The drop third strike, and Charlie Graham applies the tag. 2 down, and the runner stays on second for the moment. So after Reidelberger's strikeout, which was Nagel's 5th, it'll be up to the 9-hole hitter, Jaden Cummings. He sees the first pitch, and it misses outside. 1-0 the count. Dylan Nagel trying to get through inning number 4 of work. Making his 4th start of the season when you combine the Colonel's Collegiate League. 1-0, and the pitch just misses high. 2-0 the count. Infield shifted over to the left, anticipating some pulled contact from Cummings. And the 2-0 upstairs. He's not going to be able to hit that one. 3 balls, no strikes. The outfield also slightly shifted over to the left. Will Jusky in normal position in right, but center fielder slightly over in Griffin Brown. Tyler Thompson hugging the line a little bit in left. 3-0 pitch, and Nagel puts it in at the knees. Strike 1. 4-1 Belters. They've out-hit Burlington 6-4 the first 4 innings, but Burlington knocking on the door to score here. The 3-1 just off the outside of the plate. And ball 4, and Billy DuBois has had enough. They will not let Dylan Nagel finish this inning. We will see a move to the mound as the tying run will come up to the plate as Jace Figueroa tries to thrust Burlington back into this one. Bottom of the fourth, we remain here in Burlington. Dylan Nagel's day is done. He couldn't quite get through the fourth, and it'll be Jackson McDonald to try to get the CornBelters out of this hole that they're in. The tying run at the plate for the Burlington Bees. It's the top of the order for Jace Figueroa, and we will see if the CornBelters can escape. 2 on, 2 out. First pitch from the right-hander, fresh into the game. It's a ground ball right back to him. He trots in, collects it, throws sidearm. The throw pulled him off the bag, and he drops the ball. 1 run will score, and the runners are on the corners. And I believe, and it's tough to see from here, given the lack of light outside, but it appeared that Mateo Casillas caught that baseball. He was off the bag. He kind of collided, not his whole body, but his glove hand collided with the runner. Figueroa kind of slammed into that glove hand, and the ball popped out. So the inning continues, and it's 4-2. First pitch off the inside part of the plate. Both runners thought about moving up, but Graham's quick enough to the ball to prevent that. 1-0. So it's Jace, or excuse me, it is Jeremy Figueroa. Name so similar, as our man Adam Hipsky pointed out just a couple innings ago. 2-0 the count. And still 2 outs. Figueroa 0 for 2 today. Up in his 3rd at-bat. 2-0. And the ball is skied high to center field, not deep. Griffin Brown comes in and makes the catch. So 1 tacked on, an unearned run for the Burlington Bees in the 4th. We'll head to inning number 5 with Normal clinging to a 2-run lead. Two as we enter inning number 5, past the halfway point of tonight's contest. A beautiful night. The rain has stayed away here in Burlington, Iowa. Though it sounds like some weather may be in the forecast the rest of this week. We'll see how that affects the playoff push. First pitch ball as we begin the 5th to Chase Mason. He's 1 for 2. He doubled and scored his last time up. The 1-0, just a bit high off the glove of the catcher. 2-0. Asher Harris won the game of surviving the longest in terms of the starting pitching. He's out there for the 5th. He misses on the 2-0 and finds himself in some trouble. Some light work going on in the bullpen for Burlington, but no one actively throwing from the mound. The 3-0 pitch to Chase Mason misses the zone, and it's a 4-pitch walk. So the Belters find a man on to start the 5th inning. And certainly a good start for the boys from Normal. And after Chase Mason, it'll be Tyler Castro. Castro, the left-handed bat, brings the corners in the middle infield to turn 2. First pitch to Castro, a slider that hooks in there at the bottom of the zone for a called strike. Castro is also 1 for 2. He tabbed a hit his last time up. And for the CornBelters, the middle of the order coming alive in game 2. 0-1, and he fouls off the pitch off the end of the bat to the left side, well foul off the fence next to the Burlington Bees dugout. 0-2 quickly to Castro. After Castro, it'll be Mazzetti and Charlie Graham as the CornBelters try to push through the middle of the order here in inning number 5. 0-2 with nobody out. And Castro sits on it and drives it to right center field. It's down in front of the right fielder who cuts it off. They get it into the infield where it's dropped by the shortstop, so they'll have no play at third as Chase Mason goes corner to corner. That may be the hardest hit ball I've seen from Tyler Castro this season. He absolutely roped it to right field. Even with the windows closed, you could hear the crack of the bat quite vividly in here. And it'll force a mound visit for the Burlington Bees. Runners on the corners, nobody out. After a couple of runners reach, we walk and a hard hit ball by Mr. Tyler Castro. So when we resume play, it'll be Alex Mazzetti, the incoming freshman. And for Mazzetti, he will bat with 2 on. The future flame of UIC. That's with Chase Mason on third, Tyler Castro on first base. Same defensive situation. Corners in, middle infield set to turn 2. They get a picture-perfect double play ball. It goes to second for 1. Across to first, but the throw gets away. Mazzetti turns to second. The throw will go to second. Mazzetti went in standing up, not realizing the throw was on its way, and he is safe, but not by much. So 1 run scores. But Mazzetti narrowly escapes a double play ball and then nearly gets himself thrown out at second base trying to go from first to second. But he stands on second with 1 down. Second error for this Burlington team in the second game of this doubleheader. 5-2 CornBelters lead after Chase Mason scores. 1 out, man on second. First pitch to Charlie Graham is in there for a called strike. The catcher is 1 for 2 today, batting in the right-handed batter's box. Here's the 0-1. Slide step, and the pitch right there at the knees. Graham looking to the stars after that one. Wasn't a big fan of the call. 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. The outfield maybe a little bit in to try to throw a runner out at home if they need be. Fly ball right field. It'll hook right into the glove. The right fielder, Donlin, they will hold Mazzetti at second as the throw bounces in on 1 hop right into the awaiting glove of Figueroa at third base, and there are 2 down. So the offense has come to a halt temporarily, and we'll see if Mateo Casillas can kickstart it. Mateo scored in the top half of the 4th when Zach Sykowski left the yard. And he now bats with a man on second. He looks at the first pitch curveball, dip in there for a called strike. Oh, and 1 the count. The second baseman has moved away from the second base bag. They were holding on Mazzetti earlier, and now a foul ball on the 0-1, just off the end of the bat back to the screen. Alex Mazzetti still on second base. They were holding him on with the second baseman, but with Mateo Casillas in there, the left-hander, they've kind of let Mazzetti go, especially with 2 outs, lower chance of a stolen base. 0-2. Struck him out. They will throw down to first, although I believe he caught the ball cleanly. Drop third strike, and they get the strikeout, throw him out at first, and that's the inning. So another run tacked on by the CornBelters. They lead 5-2 as we head to the bottom of the 5th in Burlington. Normal trying to seal the deal here in southeastern Iowa. Bottom of the fifth here in Burlington, Iowa. The CornBelters lead by 3 runs. Griffin Leonard and Adam Hipsky here in the press box above home plate here in Burlington. And after a doubleheader like this, it makes a 2.5-hour drive worth it. And I'm sure Adam would agree with me. But it'll be Dylan Cool for the Burlington Bees, the last time these two teams will play in the 2024 season. Cool squares to bunt, pulls it back, and the pitch misses the zone. It's Jackson McDonald out there for what he will hope to be his first full inning of work. He's thrown a third and got out of the last inning in just 3 pitches. 1-0. And pitches inside, ball 2. He's facing the 3-4-5 hitters for this Burlington lineup. Cool, batting from the left side, yet to register an at-bat. The pitch swung on and missed. Oh, he went after that one. A whipping swing across the face of the plate by the left-hander, but unable to make any contact, and count 2-1. The pitch swung on and missed. 2-2. No one on, and the infield shifted over to the right. Most significantly, Zach Zykowski at shortstop. 2-2. Just misses the zone. Charlie Graham tried to frame it into the top part of the plate, but home plate umpire said not so fast, and the count is full. Payoff pitch coming as McDonald enters the windup, and it is outside. A worked walk off of the full count by Dylan Cool. His 3rd walk today, still yet to register an at-bat in the contest. So runner on first, nobody out, and it'll be the cleanup man. And looking to kickstart the Bees offense, get them back into this game is Bryce Brown. Brown 0 for 1 today. He's struck out and he has walked. McDonald from the stretch now with a man on first base, and he kicks and deals, and the pitch is swung on and missed by Bryce Brown. 0-1 to the hard-hitting cleanup man. Brown out of Mount Mercy University. A lot of guys on this Bees lineup out of Mount Mercy as the pitch is on the outside corner for a called strike. And I can't seem to recall what the limit for players from one individual school are, but I'm counting at least 8 that are registered from Mount Mercy for this Burlington Bees offense. A strikeout from Jackson McDonald, and one of the Mount Mercy kids goes down to Bryce Brown. It's the 2nd strikeout today, 1 out for the Bees. So it'll be Michael Carano Jr. He caught the first game, and now the designated hitter this evening in game 2. He watches the first pitch fastball sneak outside. Carano Jr., not from Mount Mercy, but he is from Parkland College in Illinois. Closer to Normal than it is Burlington, at least I believe so, as the pitch is fouled away out of play. 1-1. 1-1 the count with one away and a man on first base. One right on left matchup. The runner thought about breaking, but he slows down in the end, and the pitch misses outside. Two balls and a strike, and the pitch to the left-hander misses outside in the same spot. I've Googled Parkland College, and I have found that it is in Champaign, Illinois, which would solidify my belief that it is closer to Normal. So, there's that. 3 balls and a strike with one away and a man on first base. Fastball down the middle, maybe on the inside corner. Either way, called a strike, and the count is full. Carano Jr. digs back in, the designated hitter, batting from the left side. The platoon advantage on McDonald. The runner breaks on the 3-2, and it's line foul left side, arcing out of play. And Brown, or rather Cool, will have to retreat back to the first base back. After 9 o'clock here, local time, on this Saturday night in July, the final Saturday, the 2024 Prospect League regular season. A week from today, the Final Four, the semifinal matchups will be being played. 3-2. On the outside corner, called strike 3. Carano sits down, and McDonald's got strikeout number 2 of the inning. Back-to-back Ks for the right-hander. So we'll see Cooper Donlin, another lefty. And he will bat with 2 away. And a snap throw down to first, nearly getting away from Mateo Casillas. Was that ball well to the inside of the first base bag. But Casillas, the athletic first baseman, going and getting that ball before it can head into right field. First pitch. And a fly ball left side, foul out of play, 0-1. Cooper Donlin's had a good day for the Bees. Just 4 hits for the offense as a whole, but 2 of them have come from the bat of Cooper Donlin. So similar to game 1, where 4 hits for the Belters, and 3 of them came from Tyler Thompson. 0-1 pitch off the plate. Graham popped up as to make sure that Cool wasn't going anywhere. He was not, so the count 1-1. 2 outs here in the bottom half of the 5th. A runner on first. McDonald getting set to deliver the 1-1. He brings the leg up and comes home. And the pitch is popped up just to the side of us, but there's a giant net restricting the ball from coming into the press box, a net that is practically rendered invisible with the darkness. The ball landed on top of it, rolled back down toward the field, and got stuck, which is just kind of teasing everyone who wanted a souvenir baseball. 1-2 the count. Donlin digs back in, a fresh ball onto play, and the pitch from McDonald. Lined right side of the infield, through the gap in the middle. Going first to third is Cool. The hard throw in from Griffin Brown is fielded on a hop by Mazzetti, but the throw does not come in time. Cool's into third, standing up, and Donlin's got himself his 3rd hit of the game. So the tying run will come up for Burlington once again. It's a Burlington Bees team that, despite their record, despite the way their season's gone, they've been a pesky insect for this CornBelters team, and the pun certainly intended there. We will see Christian Dunn, who has an RBI and a hit, come up as the tying run for Burlington in the 5th. McDonald swings the body to the plate, and the ball is grounded left side, foul. And an early strike registered against Christian Dunn. Jackson McDonald got through 2 outs somewhat quickly after a leadoff walk. Now has given up the single and up to 24 pitches, ready to deal number 25 with the 0-1. And it is just outside. Count even at 1. Runners on the corners in Donlin and Cool. Donlin taking a somewhat conservative lead over there at first base. Don't want to run into an out. And here's the 1-1. It is popped way up in the air. If it stays in play, it'll be playable for Graham. He settles under it, but cannot make the catch. The catcher unable to find it in the dark sky. Fell over backwards the last moment to try to recover and could not get there. 1-2. Just a strike on the board in the end and a fresh life for Christian Dunn. And if Dunn is able to put across a run or two here, you'll certainly think back to that moment. A missed opportunity for the Belters on defense. 1-2 the count. McDonald, the right-hander, will come home with the runner going, and the ball's lined into left field, and a run will score. Christian Dunn laces the ball into left field. It's stopped by Tyler Thompson, and the game is now 5-3. And just a pitch after an opportunity for a foul out. We now have a very manageable game for Burlington. They have the tying run on base. And they will send a pinch runner to the plate. Filling the 8 hole, filling Reiterberger's spot. It'll be Skylar Agnew, who hit a grand slam yesterday in normal. And now bats in a big spot as the potential go-ahead run for the Burlington Bees. McDonald ready to go on the mound. His infield is shifted over to the right side. Left-handed hitter, right-handed pitcher. The first pitch. And Agnew watches it just miss the left side of the zone. Missed outside, ball 1. He gets back in there. An open stance for Agnew, batting for the first time in the second game after starting in game 1. 1-0 pitch. And it is low of the zone, ball 2. And you've got to wonder if for McDonald, that drop is in the back of his mind, knowing he could have gotten out of the inning. We'll have a 2-0 after this as we see Billy Du Bois walk out, and he will take a mound visit here. No action in the bullpen of the CornBelters at this moment. In fact, no one even down there sitting down on the benches out there. Everyone kind of just hanging out in the dugout. But Billy Du Bois will have a conversation with his infield. They try to figure out how to solve Skylar Agnew. A very, very, very dangerous hitter. Du Bois' mound visit is short and sweet. Skylar Agnew out of Rancho Cucamonga, California. Down in SoCal. Playing his collegiate ball at Hawaii Pacific. Not the only Hawaii Pacific guy on this team. Cooper Donlin. Collegiate teammates. And somehow they find their way out to the middle of Iowa. 2-0 the count, 2 outs after the mound visit. McDonald back on the mound, maybe with some profound confidence. But he just misses the plate with the 2-0 fastball, and it is 3-0. If Agnew reaches, it'll be the 9 spot currently occupied by Jaden Cummings. 3-0 pitch, and it is well outside. That was non-competitive. The bases will be loaded. So some 5th inning drama in this one between the CornBelters and the Bees. So Jaden Cummings will hit in the 9 spot. They will keep the 9 hole in there, who in just 2 games played for the Bees this season, hitting 167. First pitch. Right at the knees called strike, and Cummings a long walk around the hitter's circle. Not very happy with that call. 0-1, the bases are loaded for Burlington. Tying run on second base, and here's the 0-1, and it's a slider, and it finds the outer edge. Ahead 0-2 is Jackson McDonald. They have Cooper Donlin on third, Christian Dunn on second base, and Skylar Agnew stands on first. From the windup comes McDonald. Check swing appeal down to the base umpire. They say he did not go. 1-2. It was a slider away from the hitter, and Cummings certainly threw part of his bat at it, but did not get the decision he was looking for. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The right-hander with a deep breath on the mound, back into his windup. Here's the 1-2. And it's a ground ball left side. Backhand stop by Mazzetti, who thought about going to his bag, has to go across the diamond, not in time. And I think it was that slight change of decision that cost Alex Mazzetti. He took one step toward his third base bag to try to beat the runner, then changed his mind and went across the diamond the long way to first. And just beating the throw is Jaden Cummings. It is 5-4 here in Burlington. The bases remain loaded for the top of the order. And the first pitch is lined to left center field and down for a base hit. 1 run will score. Jace Figueroa has given the Burlington Bees the lead. A second run is in. And it is 6-5 as Burlington put up 4 in the 5th. And they lead 6-5 over the normal CornBelters. What an offensive explosion from Burlington. And Billy Du Bois has had enough. The Belters will bring out their manager and bring in a new arm. 4 runs in the 5th inning for the Burlington Bees, who have evaporated a CornBelter lead and now lead themselves. And we will step aside here on the home of the CornBelters, the radio home. You're listening to CornBelters Baseball. We'll be right back. So Burlington force a pitching change. Zach O'Donnell will pitch for the second time today. He pitched in game 1, now comes in for McDonald in the 5th. Runners on second and third. Jeremy Figueroa will hit for the Bees, who lead by 1. And the first pitch is outside of the zone. Jackson McDonald looked very good for the beginning of his outing. Gave up a few hits. And a 1-0 count here. And it is at the knees. And if you're just joining us, the CornBelters had an opportunity to get out of the inning. There was a pop-up into foul territory. The catcher, Charlie Graham, going over to it and unable to make the catch. He was under it, but ended up missing it by a couple of inches as the 1-1 misses inside and a little low as well. 2-1 the count. If Graham had made that catch, this game would have stayed 5-2. Instead, Burlington lead by a run, and they're looking to add to it. Figueroa hitless today, but he's batting with a 2-1 count and 2 in scoring position. He hits a hard ball to the left side. It's Sykowski going backhand all the way across the diamond, but safe at first base. And another run comes in for the Burlington Bees. 7-5. So after another run comes in for Burlington, it is Cool, the left-handed hitter, batting with runners on the corners. Two outs, still an opportunity for Normal to get out of this inning. The damage has certainly been done. First delivery of the at-bat from O'Donnell. It's in there for a strike. Zach O'Donnell got a ground ball. Just a very, very difficult play for the shortstop, Sykowski, who turned and made a solid throw across the diamond. Just not in time to get Figueroa. 0-1 pitch from O'Donnell. And it tails outside, a slider away from Dillon, and the count is even. So Figueroa on third, Figueroa on first. And the Belters still trying to figure out how to get out of this inning. 1-1 the count from O'Donnell. He pitches a fastball, delayed steal by Figueroa, and that's the second time we've seen that from Burlington. And neither time have Normal even tried to get the runner at the second base bag. The first time, there wasn't even a runner on third. They just caught the defense napping. 2-1. O'Donnell, the lefty, comes home, and he finds the outside part of the plate. The count even at 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and 2 on, and a 2-run lead for Burlington in Game 2 of today's doubleheader. 2's wild here in Burlington. And Zach O'Donnell kicks and fires. And number 22 strikes him out. Dylan Cool goes down swinging. He finally registers an at-bat, but it is not a good one. Zach O'Donnell with a strikeout gets out of the inning, but not before another run comes across in total for Burlington. A 5-spot, second game in a row where they've done just that. We'll head to the 6th. Adam Ipsky to take you the rest of the way after this.
Top of the 6th, first call to the pen for Burlington after Asher Harris drew the start and went 5 strong. 9-1-2 due up for the Belters, starting with the righty swinging center fielder, Griffin Brown, who digs in, taps the plate a couple of times, and the right-hander Brady Richards is set at the belt. He kicks and fires. First pitch, changeup, swing and a miss. Brown's behind 0-1. So Richards enters, making his 4th appearance, working exclusively out of the pen, has gone 8 2/3 so far this season. 9 hits, 7 runs, all 7 earned. As we pause for the 0-1, out of the windup, lined left side and pulled foul. Through 2 pitches, Brown's behind 0-2. Richards has allowed 11 walks and 5 strikeouts. 4 extra base hits, all doubles. Bees leading at 7-5 in the top of the 6th here at Community Field in Burlington. The 0-2. Breaking ball in the dirt. Brown looks at it, and it's ball 1. So Asher Harris's final line is 5 innings, 7 hits, 5 runs, only 4 of them earned. 3 walks and 1 punch-out. A double and a home run. Here's the 1-2 to Brown. He looks at a fastball, just misses the outer half. Count now levels at 2-2. Brown's 0 for 2 tonight. Grounded out to the shortstop in the 2nd and popped out to the second baseman in the 4th. The 2-2, nobody out, nobody on. The windup, fastball above the letters. Count runs full here to the leadoff man in the top of the 6th. Bees regain the lead after putting a 5 spot on the board in the bottom of the 5th. Here's the 3-2. And it hits Brown in the back, square on the numbers. And he's clearly frustrated. He launches his bat, tosses his elbow guard, and you have to understand why. Griffin Brown has just been hit by a pitch for the 12th time all season, making his 31st appearance for the Belters, and he's been hit in over a third of his games. That turns the lineup card over to the righty swinging shortstop, Zach Zykowski. Runner on first, that's Brown. First pitch out of the stretch. It's lined foul to the right side, into the screen, and the count's 0-1. Brown was top 5 in the prospect league in being hit by a pitch. His numbers continue to add up. 0-1. Here to Zykowski. Fastball at the knees, misses outside. A ball and a strike now on the shortstop. I asked Brown a couple of days ago, after he got hit by his 11th pitch as a quick pick over to first. He's back standing. I asked Brown how he felt about having such high numbers in that department. He says, to be honest, it hurts physically and mentally. Here's the 1-1 to Zykowski. Breaking ball. Continued to dive away from Zykowski. He holds his swing, and the count's 2-1. A base stealing threat over there on first in Brown. He swiped 7 bags this summer. Richards takes a peek over his left shoulder. Now deals. Brown takes off. Hit and run placed on. And Zykowski grounds it through the hole into left field. Brown goes corner to corner. The throw comes into second. It's over the head of Cummings. And Zykowski takes off for second. He's in safely with a head first slide. Nobody covering the bag. There's nobody out. And 2 in scoring position. A hit and run played perfectly by Zykowski and Brown. And the Bees, who lead at 7-5, are in the danger zone right now with the Belters' bats threatening. And a mound visit will commence atop the hill. Zykowski ripped that one through the left side of the infield. So let's reset things for you. The Belters were up 5-1, and then the Bees put a crooked number up in the bottom of the 5th, giving them the 7-5 lead. So Brown on third, Zykowski on second, and that brings up the right-handed left fielder Tyler Thompson, who's 1 for 3 with a single his last time up. He tightens his batting gloves, steps in the right side, taps the far side of the plate, then the near side. Richards coming out of the pen. Hunched over, now comes set at the belt. First offering to Thompson. Swung on and missed. A fastball. Thompson couldn't catch up to it, and the count's 0-1. Brown on third, he was hit by a pitch. Zykowski on second, he singled and took second on the throw. The 0-1. Breaking ball dives below the zone. Thompson looks at ball one. Thompson was 3 for 4 in game one of our doubleheader. The Bees took that one 6-1. This is game 3 of the series. Tied 1-1 so far. The 1-1. Breaking ball in the dirt. Thompson takes, and it's ball 2. Thompson reached on an error in the third. Singled in the fourth. Now back up in the top of the sixth. Bees leading at 7-5. Out of the windup. Richards deals fly ball right side. Pushing foul. And it's out of play. So the count's now 2-2 on the left fielder, Thompson. Will Jeske is on deck. He's 0 for 3, but he had a solo shot in game 1. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. The corners of the infield are on the grass. Brown over there on third. The 2-2. Thompson lines it right side. It's into right field. 1 run is in. Zykowski the windmill. The throw in from right from Donlin. It's not in time. A 2-strike, 2 RBI single off the bat of Tyler Thompson. And we are knotted at 7 in the top of the 6th. A shot off the bat of Thompson, and he stays hot. 7-7, Will Jeske steps in. Right on right the matchup. Richards getting roughed up early on in this one. 5'9", 175-pound righty from Sauk Valley Community College. Retoes the rubber. Back into his hunched stance. And Jeske in the batter's box. First pitch, breaking ball, came in at the knees. Called strike, 0-1 on Jeske. Thompson on first. He cleared a couple in scoring position after a 2 RBI single. Here's the 0-1 from Jeske. Hit up the middle. Bouncing to the shortstop Brown. He fields it across the diamond. Flips to second for 1. There's no play on to first, so they'll take the fielder's choice. Off the bat, it looked like it was heading for center field, but Brown, who makes up so much ground with his 6'4" frame, finally ranges over parallel to the bag, flips to Dunnings for 1, and there's 1 out, and that brings up the designated hitter, Chase Mason. Right on right the matchup. First pitch, fastball misses upstairs, ball 1. Brown was hit by a pitch. He came around to score. Zykowski singled and scored on the single from Thompson. The 1-0. Breaking ball misses in the dirt. Another bad miss from Richards, and the count's 2 balls, no strikes. Mason got his first hit since July 13th with a double in the second. He walked and scored in the 5th. 2-0. Snap throw to first. Jeske's back standing. His right foot on the bag. Does a little twirl, and the count's 2-0. Richards out of the stretch. He delivers. This is up and in at the letters, and the count is 3-0 to Mason. Tied at 7, top of the 6th. Another pick to first, and Jeske, who didn't even have a step off the bag, retreats with that pace, and the count now still 3-0. The offering. This is up high. Mason takes, and a 4-pitch walk to the DH. His second free pass awarded of the evening. Puts 2 on, still just 1 out in the top of the 6th. Tied at 7. Brings in a lefty, Tyler Castro. First lefty that Brady Richards has had to face. Castro pushes down on his helmet. straightening up the cap. First offering for him. Breaking ball. Finds the bottom rail. Called strike. 0-1 the count. Castro 2 for 3 with a couple of singles. No damage on the base paths with either one. The 0-1 here from Richards. He checks second. Goes home. Breaking ball. Hit up the middle. Grounded by the second baseman Cummings, who goes to second for 1. On to first. It's in time. So the Belters had 2 on and just 1 out. But that's how it will stay as Tyler Castro grounds into a double play. Belters put a 2 spot on the board in the top half of the 6th. We'll turn it to the bottom frame. Belters, Bees, tied at 7, right here on the home of CornBelters Baseball. Bottom of the 6th, it's Zach O'Donnell back on the hill for the 2nd inning in this game, but he came out of relief in game 1. Pitched 2/3 of a frame, so he's getting his 2nd appearance today. Charlie Graham from behind the dish throws down. We're set to go here in the home half of the 6th. Righty, lefty, lefty, due up, starting with the cleanup hitter, Bryce Brown, who has struggled today. 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. He digs in the right side. Lefty O'Donnell takes his place on the hill, towing the third base side of the rubber. He bends down, gets his sign from Graham. Set at the letters, out of the windup. Southpaw deals. Cut on and miss. Breaking ball got him to chase. Counts 0-1 to the shortstop, Brown. Was 1 for 3 in game 1. The Bees took that decision 6-1. No balls, 1 strike. The delivery. Cut on and miss. This breaking ball below the zone. Brown chases once again. Through 2 pitches, he's behind 0-2. Tied at 7, bottom of the 6th. O'Donnell. Back set at the letters. Out of the windup. Goes downstairs once again. Brown takes this time, and it's ball 1. 6'4", 205-pound freshman from Mount Mercy. NAIA in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. The 1-2 offering. Out straight back into the screen. O'Donnell went up and out. Brown fouted off to stay alive. Nobody out, nobody on. Bottom of the 6th. O'Donnell. He kicks and fires. Out straight back once again. Brown, who got behind quickly in the count, now staying alive with a couple of foul tips. Hitting .344 this summer. Just joined the team on July 5th, but man, has he been a mainstay in the heart of Owen Oreskovich's order. How could you not? Handful of home runs, the 1-2. Rounded left side. Mazzetti has to backpedal a few steps. Fields it, then fires across the diamond. It's over the glove of Casillas. Graham backs it up. And a strong throw from Mazzetti. I'm not sure if that's an error on Casillas or an error on Mazzetti. It looked like one that Casillas probably could have gotten a glove on. It did hit his glove. It ricocheted off and carried over to the wall. But there's a runner on first, nobody out, and Michael Carano Jr. They're going to call it a throwing error on Mazzetti. That's the Belters' second error of the evening. Tied at 7. First pitch out of the stretch to the DH, Carano Jr. O'Donnell checks first, now goes home. Fastball misses way inside. Carano corkscrewing his body out of the way. He takes, it's 1-0 to the 6'2", 210-pound freshman from Parkland College. A JUCO in Champaign, Illinois. Runner on first, that's Brown. He takes a sizable lead off the bag, being held on by Castillo. The 1-0. Breaking ball misses and it kicks away from Graham, but he continues to stare down Brown, who dances towards second but retreats to first. The count is 2-0 in the bottom of the 6th, tied at 7 here at Community Field in Burlington. Belters, after tonight, will have just 3 games to go. They trail Terre Haute by a game. Winner of the Central heads to the playoffs. 2 balls, no strike. O'Donnell out of the stretch. Fastball just misses the outside corner at the belt. The count is 3-0 now to Carano. Hitting .200 this summer. He's 1 for 3 tonight. He singled and scored in the 2nd. A pop out, and he struck out looking his last time to the dish in the 5th. Short lead from Brown. 3 balls, no strikes. The pitch from O'Donnell. Breaking ball, called strike. So, O'Donnell stays alive for another pitch. Still a hitter's advantage here to the lefty Carano. Middle infield a few steps back, looking to turn 2. Nobody out. 1 runner on. That's Brown on first. The 3-1. Breaking ball, hit in the air, curling foul. It's behind home plate to the left side. And the count is now 3-2. So O'Donnell got behind 3-0, works himself back into this count with a couple of strikes. The payoff with nobody out and 1 on. O'Donnell, he fires. Grounded right side to the first baseman Castillo, who tried to turn 2, but it was in and out of his glove, so he takes it to first for 1, and Brown moves into second. So a break for Burlington puts 1 in scoring position. O'Donnell wants a new ball. He tosses it to home plate umpire Dana Wilson. And Bryce Brown, who has plenty of speed on the base paths, is 180 feet away with the go-ahead run. Doubleheader, this is game 2. We're only playing 7. If it takes more to decide a winner, we'll do so. First pitch to the lefty Cooper Donlin. Breaking ball spikes off the shin of Graham into the backstop. Brown moves second to third, and now the go-ahead run just 90 feet away in a tie ball game in the bottom of the 6th. Bees took game 1 6-1. Belters trying to salvage a split. Bees trying to pick up the sweep. And now Billy DuBois takes a walk out of the first base dugout to chat with his infield. 1 balls, no strikes. 1 ball, no strikes. Brown on third. The entire infield converges. Tyler Thompson walks over to center to talk with Griffin Brown. And a shorter mound visit from manager Billy DuBois. Talking strategy here with the runner on third and 1 out. Donlin now just trying to do his job. With 1 away, if he can put it to the outfield, it could score a run. The corner outfielders are a few steps in. Right now, extra bases don't do much. It's more so the focus over there just 90 feet away for Brown on third. O'Donnell back to the windup, dealing to the lefty Donlin, who's 3 for 3 tonight. First pitch. This is downstairs. Count is now 2-0 to Donlin. Right fielder from Hawaii Pacific University. 6 foot, 200-pound junior. Was 1 for 3 in game 1. 2 balls, no strikes. The entire infield in on the grass. The pitch. Misses inside. Counts now 3-0 to Donlin. Singled in the second, singled and scored in the fourth, singled and scored in the fifth. This has been as evenly matched as a game as you can find. 7 runs on 9 hits, 2 errors for both sides. 3-0 from O'Donnell. First base open. Called strike down the middle. A fastball works the count to 3-1. So the Belters have plated 7 on 9 hits, 2 errors in the field. The Bees have also plated 7 runs on 9 hits and 2 errors in the field. Brown on third. He is the lone base runner. 3-1 with 1 away. Out of the windup. Slider misses down and in. Not the worst scenario for the Belters with first base open. But now it's decision time for the Belters infield. Do you keep them in and try and go home if Brown elects to take it from third? Or do you push the middle back and turn a pair to get out of the inning? That brings up Christian Dunn, the right-handed catcher, hitting just 167 this summer, but he's 2 for 3 tonight with a couple of RBIs. 1 out. Brown on third, Donlin on first. O'Donnell back to the stretch, set at the letters. Pitch is laced left side and hooking foul. A break there for the Belters. Dunn was way out in front of the breaking ball and pulled it down the line for strike 1. Now the middle infield takes a few steps in. They're not trying to turn 2. The 0-1. Runner takes off for second, and a defensive indifference there. Belters were willing to give up that run. They're just concerned about Brown, who's the go-ahead at third. 1 out, bottom of the 6th. CornBelters and Bees tied at 7. Normal looking for the split. Burlington trying to pick up the sweep. The 1-1 from the lefty is hit in the air. Center field. Brown races in. We'll see if it's deep enough. Brown gets ready. He tags. The throw in. Down the line. Not in time. Burlington takes the 1-run lead in the bottom of the 6th. Christian Dunn does his job and has now driven in his 3rd run of the ball game. It's Burlington 8, Normal 7. And now all of a sudden the Belters offense is down to their final 3 outs when we reach the top of the 7th. Donlin also advanced 90 feet. So he's on third. Bottom of the 6th. Plate getting dusted off after Brown trotted in from third. There's 2 outs, bottom of the 6th. O'Donnell staying in the game. Merrick Matthews, the hitter now. Drops the bat over his right shoulder. First pitch popped up and out of play. 0-1 the count. Reidelberger started the game at first, then was pinch hit for in the 5th by Skylar Agnew, and then Merrick Matthews took his place defensively on the right side of the infield at first. No balls, 1 strike. 2 away, 1 runner, he's on third. That's Donlin. He walked and came around. The 0-1. Cut on and miss. Breaking ball downstairs. And Matthews chases. And the count's now 0-2. Now the infield back. Sykowski, the shortstop, playing the pole. He's got both feet in the outfield grass. No balls, 2 strikes. Out of the windup. O'Donnell delivers. This is up and away. Ball and 2 strikes. here on the first baseman, Matthews, who played in game 1, went 1 for 2 with an RBI sac fly. 8-7, Burlington leads, bottom of the 6th. Christian Dunn drove in Brown on a sac fly. 1-2. Slider misses inside at the ankles, and the count's now even at 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs. Bottom of the 6th, just playing 7 here in our Saturday night twin bill. O'Donnell set at the letters. Stares in out of the windup. Misses up high, and the count's reached the maximum here to Matthews. Pinch hitting, not technically, came in as a defensive substitution. The right-handed junior pushes the bat out in front of his body. Now pushes it over the right shoulder. The 3-2. This is inside. We'll see if that forces another walk from Billy DuBois. He's staying in, he's staying in, he's staying in. There's runners on the corners. 2 outs. Brings up the number 9 hitting second baseman, Jaden Cummings, who is 1 for 2, an RBI single, strikeout looking, and a walk. All over the place for the second baseman. 6 foot, 150-pound sophomore from Chicago. Shimmying in the right-handed batter's box. Middle infield back, 2 away. Pitch from O'Donnell. Check swing. This is down and away. Count now 1-0. Cummings' last time to the dish was his most productive. The RBI single, he came around to score on it. That was when the Bees put up a 5 spot in the bottom of the 5th. They've responded with 1 here so far in the 6th, looking to add to it. The 1-0, breaking ball at the knees, called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike on Cummings. Donlin on third, Matthews on first. The 1-1 from O'Donnell. Called strike, dots the outer half. A nice pitch off the left hand of O'Donnell. This will be his 37th pitch out of the pen, making his a 2nd appearance today. Pitched in game 1, less than an inning, but still having to get loose twice, coming into the game twice. The 1-2 with 2 away. Hit in the air, right side, and foul. Out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes here on the Bees' number 9 hitter, who has been productive at the bottom of the order for Owen Oreskovich. Count remains a ball and 2 strikes. Runners on the corners. Matthews being held on by Castillo. The offering. Breaking ball. Misses inside. I think Cummings might have thought it was strike 3. He bent his body. A little bit of frustration, but ended up being inside, and count now levels 2-2. 2 away, bottom of the 6th. O'Donnell winds and fires. Breaking ball misses outside. O'Donnell wants a check swing. The appeal down to the base umpire. He didn't get it. Count runs full. 2 outs. Second base unoccupied, so I can't imagine Matthews will be on the move here. 3 for 4 in stolen base attempts, though. Here's the pitch. Lined left side. Fielded by Zajkowski. Fires across the diamond. Not in time. Cummings was lightning fast out of the box. Sprinted down the line. It was sharply hit off the bat, and then it took a weird spin. Zajkowski had to shift his body towards the outfield grass to get a glove on it. He shuffled and threw on to first, and Cummings has a 2-out RBI infield single, and Burlington leads it 9-7 in the bottom of the 6th in the latter half of our Saturday night doubleheader at Community Field here in Burlington. That's going to take a trot out from Billy DuBois, who gives a hug to his left-handed reliever, Zach O'Donnell. who has been a warrior for the CornBelters today. We'll step aside. We'll get you the new pitcher and O'Donnell's final line on the other side right here on the CornBelters. Tyler Altenbaumer into the game for Zach O'Donnell, who does not have a final line, but once we get it, we'll get it to you. The right-hander, Altenbaumer, enters with an 11.64 ERA, making his 20th appearance, 19 and a third innings of work, 35 hits, 31 runs, 25 of them earned, 14 walks, 21 strikeouts. Back to the top of the order for the Bees. They're sending their ninth hitter to the plate in this inning. There's 2 on, runners on first and second. Bottom of the 6th, we're playing just 7 here in the latter half of our doubleheader. Jace Figueroa digs in the left side. The righty Altenbaumer stares in, comes set at the letters. First pitch to the center fielder. He squares to bunt, places it, and it's fouled straight back. No balls and a strike on Figueroa, who's 1 for 4 with a 2 RBI double in the 5th. He's got Cummings on first and Matthews on second. There's 2 outs. Bottom of the 6th. Bees leading at 9-7. Out of the windup. Altenbaumer deals. Fastball hit left field over the head of Thompson. It's to the wall. 1 run is in. Cummings around third. Figueroa trotting for third, and he's in sliding. A 2 RBI triple gives Burlington an 11-7 lead here in the bottom of the 6th. So after the Bees put up a 5 spot in the 5th, they've instantly responded with a 4 spot in the 6th. And the Belters, who after Game 1 took a 1-game deficit in the Central Division standings, playoff chances looking more and more bleak. After tonight, just 3 games to go. With a loss, there'll be a game and a half back on Terre Haute. First pitch to the righty, Figueroa. Sorry, his buddy, Figueroa, is on third after that 2 RBI triple. 1-0 on Figueroa. The pitch, cut on and missed. Down to a knee goes Figueroa. Count now 0-1. Figueroa coming to the plate for the 4th consecutive innings. 3, 4, 5, and 6 have all seen the third baseman at the dish. The 0-1. Cut on and missed. He's swinging for the fences here, and the count's now 0-2 to the 5'5", 160-pounder from Mount Mercy. Collects himself outside of the right-handed batter's box. Now steps in. No balls, 2 strikes. Altenbaumer set. Ready to deal. The righty fires. Line right side, out of play. Count remains no balls, 2 strikes. So Figueroa is on third. He tripled. Brought in Cummings and Matthews. It's 11-7 in the bottom of the sixth. Belters will be down to their last 3 outs when we reach the top half of the seventh. The 0-2. Cut on and missed. So Figueroa goes down swinging, but not before the Bees send 10 to the dish. 4 runs gives them a 4-run advantage. To the top of the seventh we go. Last chance for the Belters. Playoff chances dwindling at every at-bat. Mazzetti, Graham, and Casillas due up for Normal. Right here on the home of Normal CornBelters Baseball. We're back here at Community Field. Adam Hipsky, Griffin Leonard, top of the seventh. Last chance for the Belters. Game 2 of our Saturday night twin bill, and starts with the righty swinging Alex Mazzetti. Jack Duncan enters the game looking to finish it off for Burlington, the 6'3", 220-pound righty from Western Illinois. He looks in at his backstop done, comes set at the belt, ready to deal a first pitch to the third baseman Mazzetti. Out of the windup. Breaking ball misses up and in at the letters. 1-0 to Mazzetti. Duncan, a 5.47 ERA, making his 14th appearance out of the pen. The 1-0. Swing and a miss. Mazzetti chased after the high heat. The count now evens at 1-1. 24 2/3 innings of work. 28 hits, 20 runs, only 15 earned, 20 walks, and 17 strikeouts. Here's the 1-1 offering. Tapped foul into the screen. Mazzetti behind, a ball and 2 strikes. The third baseman 0 for 3. A fly out, a line out, and he reached on an error in the fifth. Taps the plate once, now props it over his right shoulder. Here's the 1-2 with the bases clear and nobody out. Swing and a miss. Duncan goes with the fastball. Mazzetti swings through it as it reached the upper rail. And there's one away in the top of the seventh. Belters now down to their final 2 outs. And Charlie Graham, the righty swinging catcher, steps in for the 4th time tonight. Had an RBI single in the second. He opened the scoring up after he brought Chase Mason in the road half of the second. Since then, he's 0 for 2. First pitch, fouled up the line, left side, ground ball. To left of the chalk line, Bees have tallied 11 on 11 hits and 2 errors in the field. Belters just 7 runs on 9 hits. They've also had 2 costly errors in the field. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball misses outside. Graham takes. The count's 1-1. Burlington's offense has come alive as of late. The 1-1. Lined up the middle, down for a base hit. A rocket off the bat of Graham. And the Belters have a man aboard here in the top of the 7th, still trailing 11-7. That brings up a pinch hitter. Cody Morton will dig in. So Mateo Casillas' day is done. He singled and walked and scored. So bit of a confusing decision from Billy DuBois, but trying to pull out all the stops. Austin Wiegand is into pinch run for Charlie Graham, so we would assume Chris Sahusky will do the catching duties if we were to reach the bottom of the 7th. But Wiegand, who played in game 1, went 0 for 3, is now on first, being held on by Matthews. So Morton, who is pinch hitting, did not play in game 1. First pitch from Duncan, the righty to the righty. It's a breaking ball at the knees, called strike, 0-1. Morton, just one game played, no hits. Here's the 0-1. He takes outside. It's ball 1. Bees put up 5 in the 5th and 4 in the 6th. It has been all Burlington in the back half of this ball game. Here's the 1-1. Fly ball, shallow center field. Cummings, the second baseman, is out. He's called off by the center fielder, Figueroa, who makes the grab for the second out of the inning. Now to the number 9 hitter, Griffin Brown. He was hit by a pitch his last time up. He's 0 for 2 otherwise after going 0 for 3 in game 1. Bees just 1 out away from a Saturday night sweep. Belters walked into today as Central Division leaders. 1 out away from leaving as down in the Central by a game and a half. First pitch, slider misses outside for ball 1. Brown taps the plate a couple of times. Rests the bat on his right shoulder. Quick pick over to first. Duncan looking to end it right there, but Wiegand's back standing. Being coached over there by first base, Randy Wittenberg. 1 ball, no strikes. Out of the windup. Here's Duncan. Fastball misses inside. 2 balls, no strikes on Brown. Belters' offense was quiet in game 1. They were defeated 6-1. The 2-0. Tap, straight foul. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Brown takes his helmet off. Puts the cap back on. 2 away, top of the 7th. Middle infield a few steps back. Wiegand off the bag at first. Duncan set at the belt. Takes a peek over his left shoulder. Now sends it home. Slider misses outside. Ball 3. Hitter's advantage here to Brown. Zach Zykowski, the leadoff man, is on deck. There's 2 outs. He's leading at 11-7. The pitch misses inside, and Brown is walked. So the inning stays alive, and Zach Zykowski, the leadoff hitter who's top 5 in the Prospect League in on-base percentage, will step in the right side with 2 on and 2 away. The tying run is on deck. Zykowski's got to keep this game alive right here. A 2-run home run in the 4th. He stands tall towards the middle of the right-handed batter's box. The first offering to him, he takes. It's a called strike at the knees on the outer half. 0-1 the count. Brown on first, he walked. The 0-1. Fly ball, shallow right field. Heading towards the foul line is Donlin. He's in foul territory, and he makes the grab for the 3rd out. So the CornBelters, who walked into Community Field as leaders of the Central with 5 games to go, will leave the Hawkeye State a game and a half back with just 3 to play here in the summer of 2024. A deflating day on the normal side. They lose game 1 6-1. They lose game 2 11-7. And with every game just becoming increasingly more and more important, and now it is dire for the normal CornBelters. That'll do it for our coverage here from Community Field. Adam Hipsky, Griffin Leonard, we thank you for joining us here for our coverage at Community Field. That'll do it on the radio home of the Belters, unless we make the playoffs, which right now looks increasingly less and less likely. Back tomorrow on Prospect League TV. Danville comes to town for the last time this season. Belters then finish with a 2-game set against the Illinois Valley Pistol Shrimp on Tuesday and Wednesday. 3 games to go. Belters fall to 12-11 in the second half. Adam Hipsky, Griffin Leonard, saying good night from here in Burlington, Iowa at Community Field. The Belters get swept under the Saturday night lights.